16,000 at the Kemp Arena, the second highest attendance for this event in history. Final instructions from the coaches.
Be ready. Both wrestlers are excellent on their feet. Look for Lee to be a real good takedown artist, but Fleeger's extremely tough on his feet as well. And Fleeger's pretty good on top.
Yes, he is. Cornell in the red, Purdue in their traditional colors, the black and gold.
You look for them to try to set each other up. So much of standing wrestling, what we call the neutral position, is setting up your opponent. Make him fall into one of your techniques. Make him vulnerable to one of your techniques. You do that by unbalancing, pulling on the head, trying to turn the shoulders by pulling an arm, or as we call shucking, pushing your opponent by so that you can attack an exposed side. And there you see the counter ability of Fleeger. Oh, so strong.
You can hear the coaches from the corners giving their instructions. We'll be on that all night long.
And as we break down a takedown, Mike, it's the penetration to get into the hold, and most importantly, the finish. And there you saw Fleeger use a beautiful trip to knock Lee down to the mat. He takes a 2-0 lead.
2 minutes.
Fleeger, known as an intelligent wrestler. A lot of great technique for him. Helped get him here. Just a minute in to our 125-pound weight class championship. Here's a close-up view of what it's like to be underneath Mr. Fleeger.
Well, Fleeger's got that arm bound up real tight, and he's moving around the head. Is what we call very high in this down position. But they go out of bounds and they'll restart. You're looking at Jesse Reyes, former Bakersfield wrestler, head coach at Purdue. And this will be a huge spark for his program if he can pull a national champion out of this match.
Purdue has just one wrestler in the championships. One of 8 schools with one wrestler here in these matches for the championship.
And Fleeger that turned him loose, and there looks pretty strong. He almost looks like he's overpowering Lee a little bit. There's Rob Cole. He is the Cornell coach, former national champion at the University of North Carolina under Bill Lamb.
Great to see some of these former champions and great wrestlers getting into the coaching ranks, because you know it'll spark interest, certainly in the programs that they're involved in.
You bet. And they're young. They can still get on the mat and actually demonstrate and do technique, and that's a huge advantage when you're trying to get someone to understand the subtleties of moves.
Nice to be young, that's for sure.
Beautiful ankle pick by Lee. Hasn't gotten the points. That's 2.
And he's got the 2 points, so Lee goes ahead 3-2.
And that's the beauty of wrestling. You might outmuscle someone, but if you can't put points on the board, you tend to leave openings for your opponent to exploit. Lee was being pushed, and then all of a sudden Fleeger started backing up, trying to pull him in, and Lee dropped, changed levels, able to hook up that ankle pick.
Lee finished 7th last year in these NCAA championships. He's got a 3-2 lead, a half-minute left in period number 1.
And let's take that takedown there. You can see the ankle pick. He doesn't rush it. He doesn't try to drive in because of the out-of-bounds line. He maintains strong position, and there switches over to the double, keeps his feet in bounds, 2-point takedown.
Meanwhile, Fleeger's been able to tie it up 3-3. Final seconds of the first.
And 31 seconds, still riding time for Fleeger. You need a minute at the end of the match in your favor in order to get that extra point.
All even after 1 period as Travis Lee takes a look at his corner to get some instructions. Fleeger's going to take the down position.
Lee won the toss, but he deferred, and that's a smart thing to do. You can wait to the 3rd period to make your choice to see what kind of a situation you were in.
Fleeger 66-4 in the last 2 years, in his 2 years of college wrestling.
Oh, great speed by Lee again. In on the single. And not quite a takedown yet. Fleeger's got a hold of his right leg, but there he's freed the leg, but he really isn't demonstrating control. And Fleeger maintains. No points, but a great attack by Travis Lee.
Watch both officials working the match, helping each other out on that particular call.
131.
It seems as though Fleeger's stronger, but Lee is quicker.
And you can hear the coaching from Lee's corner, asking him to use his quickness, keep the pace up. Going to force Fleeger into a mistake, perhaps.
And this is where Fleeger now can bring it to a more subtle pace where he takes a 2-on-1, his two hands grabbing one arm of Travis Lee, and even though Lee's shot, he's only got one arm to grab the leg with. This is a smart tactic by Fleeger, but he needs to capitalize on it, create an opening for himself.
49.
Fleeger voted the most outstanding wrestler in the Big Ten, with a 1-point lead here in the second.
And you can see how dangerous Lee is on his feet. It's very apparent that Lee is quicker than Fleeger here. He's getting good shots in on the legs.
Half a minute left in our second period.
More and more of a chess match here. See if Lee goes back to that leg shot.
20 seconds, short time.
Hard for him to move with that 2-on-1 by Fleeger.
So far, it looks like Lee's just a little bit better on his feet than Fleeger is. Final seconds of the second. Chris Fleeger, the #1 seed, holding to a 4-3 advantage. We'll be back with the third period. An NCAA championship on the line in the 125-pound class. Chris Fleeger in the black. Travis Lee in the red. Lee from Cornell, Fleeger from Purdue. And Fleeger leading 4-3 in the opening seconds of the third.
Well, and Fleeger nearly catching Lee with that half, trying to tilt him. Fleeger's tough on top, and there again looking for back points. Really straining. Criteria for back points is a 45-degree angle held there for a 2 count.
Right time is there.
Fleeger has wrestled some close matches in this tournament. His first one.
Come on, Chris.
Against Oppler. Well, that was a fall, rather. Actually won his first 2 by fall. Lee had some close matches. 3-2 to get to the semifinals. Win over Black.
One takedown. One takedown.
Final minute of the third, and we're tied at 4.
Oh, wow, Lee was in again, but he was unable to secure the hold. And when you young wrestlers train, that's what it's all about. It's the penetration to get in after a good setup. It's getting a good hold onto your target, whether it's a leg or if you're trying to bar an arm, whatever, and then, of course, the finish.
Converting the move, that's what'll help you win a championship. Lee's trying to do that here in the final minute of the third.
4-4 Fleeger has riding time. He has a 1:11 riding time, and Fleeger backing up is going for stalling.
You gotta go.
And Fleeger might be hurt. He's outside the circle and bent over. He took a shot in one of his previous matches right across the crest of his nose and the forehead, and that caused a problem. It looks like it might be the same problem.
Well, he's being attended to. You're allowed a timeout, a 1:30 worth of timeout. If you take a second timeout, you're allowed to use whatever of that 1:30 remains. If there's none left, you have to take the center of the mat. If you don't, you forfeit. And after that second timeout, if you come back out on the mat to wrestle within the 1:30, your opponent gets choice. So it's really cut down on any kind of timeouts that are more for breathing than for injury. And of course, bleeding, you are not charged a timeout. Bleeding, you take as much time as you need to stem the flow of blood.
Chris Fleeger now has been off center of the mat for just about a minute. He's got 30 seconds more if he wants it. Now he's up to his knees. Didn't quite see what happened, but it apparently got hit across the crown of the nose or the forehead.
Hey!
Pierce ready.
Hey, inside! Inside, stay with your toe!
He's trying to focus on scoreboards, it looks like, off the sides of the mat.
And Coach Jesse Ray screaming at Fleeger, stay inside. Don't try to wrestle this quickly. Wow. A real quick ankle pick once again. There's two for demonstrating control.
Now 6-4.
And he's so calm, very composed out there.
Travis Lee. Final seconds, trying to hang on. Remember, Fleeger had riding time, but he doesn't now.
Out of bounds. Despite being on his back, he's out of bounds. It won't count. And that's going to do it.
Travis
Unbelievable.
Lee,
Speed is everything.
the first All-American ever from Hawaii, and Travis Lee is an NCAA champion.
Unbelievable speed. And that ankle pick, he did it in the first, he did it in the third to win the championship.
Travis Lee is 34-0. But the last one was the sweetest. As Chris Fleeger, the sophomore from Purdue, goes down 6-4.
Had an underhook, faked like a lateral drop, and as Fleeger reacted, he changed levels. He dropped straight down, stepped forward, secured the ankle, and most important thing here is the finish. And right there, he was able to demonstrate control, full control of Fleeger's hips, totally inbounds. And he'd eventually work this towards Fleeger's back, but they would travel out of bounds and be no back points. All he needed was that takedown. Very composed, very sharp, very technical. And the emotions of the coach are more than the emotions of the wrestler.
All right, Stacey Pates is standing by now with the champion.
Travis, you gave up that initial takedown. How did you rebound from that mentally?
Well, I usually try to get the first takedown in the first period. That's usually my game strategy because I do come on strong during the third period. That's how I've wrestled all year long, and it's how I usually wrestle. So I was a little worried, but I knew that in the second and third period is usually where I come on strong, and so that's what I just tried to do, just come on strong as hard as I could, and that's what I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.